Gary Antuanne Russell is saying Matias ain't keep that energy with me. He knew that with me he had to be careful, so to speak. That's what Gary Antuanne Russell's on record saying. We're gonna take a look at that real quick in this video. He's saying that he could step to T.O. and everybody else like that, but he knew when he came to me, he had to be respectful. That's crazy talk. I mean, listen, could it have been true? I don't know because I haven't seen video unless you guys know where I can find that. But let's get to the main story. But of course, if you're new here, thank you for tuning into this video. And if you're older subscriber, thank you for the continued support. We're growing slowly, but we're getting there. We're getting there, right? So listen, shout out to the Puerto Rican kid. He has a little over 3,000 subscribers. He's getting some good interviews here and there, doing his thing. So shout out to him, Kevin Garcia. Listen, I got some timestamps, so we're just going right along, skip. But I'm gonna let this intro rock from Kevin Garcia, the KG, the Puerto Rican kid.
When I was flying over here, I knew I was thinking to myself, the Puerto Rican kid will be here this week. Welcome.
There you go. I gotta give it to him. He's from New York. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing his thing in the boxing game. So we just gotta give a lot of love to that. I watched it. I got some timestamps. I'm not wasting no time. Check it out. Here we go.
And you got Subriel Matias. I already been telling people I wanted to see Subriel before he even had a title.
Empezó ya.
And he's been talking about lately, he know how to beat me or whatever. I seen him at the last convention that we went to out Vegas. And I'm like, man, you gotta catch up with each other, my guy. You gotta do an interview together or something. Make something shake, make it happen. I'm looking to unify. You feel me? Let's get it done. I feel like
aquí está hablando él que quiere unificar.
They either scared to mess up their record or they just not trying to.
We already know that Subriel Matias is not scared to mess up none of his record because he done lost, he done fought, he done rematch people he lost to, except for Liamparo, of course, because he's not gonna get that chance anyway. One, because he's already a bigger star than Liamparo was, right? Even at the height of Liamparo. And plus, he recaptured another world title where Liamparo was not. And Liamparo has now moved on to 147 pounds. So that rematch, even if it was going to be mandated at some point, it ain't going to be no more. Liamparo said it was the weight, but we know it's the pressure because the 140 right now is getting stacked. And Liamparo's like, I gotta get out of here. I think he wants to get a fight with kid who just fought Pacquiao. I forgot his name already. But you know what I'm talking about. I think he thinks he can get that fight. I don't know. Let's see.
Fight any competition that's going to be stiff, So I'm like,
that's not Subriel.
Let's get it done. Let's go.
And that's it. So thank you.
We're gonna hop to 226 right quick. Hold on. We're gonna hop up. We're gonna keep hopping. We gotta analyze this stuff. It's a good interview though. You guys go peep it. Right here, he asked them to rate the three other champions besides himself, and what does he see in them? Independently trying to take the bias out of it.
And Subriel Matias, he's just like rugged.
True.
I'm bringing the fight to you.
True.
But he don't have any strategics with him.
Ahí les faltó respeto, mi gente. Right there, he just disrespected. He's saying that he ain't got no technicality, right? Like no finesse, no refined boxing skills. I would argue, and listen, not because I'm Puerto Rican and I'm trying to be biased at all. I would argue that Subriel Matias' style, his rugged, come forward, rock'em sock'em robot style, not everybody can pull off, right? Can we come to that conclusion, right? Not everybody can pull it off. And if not everybody can pull it off, that means that it takes a certain amount of skill set, right? To pull it off correctly. If he's able to win 2 world titles with that style, was able to avenge one loss with it, couldn't get to avenge the other one yet, then it's not just like he's a brute force walking forward with no brains. It takes a certain amount of skill set. If the truth is to believe that what Hitchens is saying, that Subriel Matias doesn't have any power, if we take away the power and he's only a rock and sock and type of robot, then how do we explain the winning, right? That's what I'm saying. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like his game plan is always, I'm gonna be in shape and I'm gonna apply pressure and try to overwhelm you with numbers, and I'm gonna take a punch to give a punch. So if I had to rank between the two, it'd be Teofimo Lopez, which Hitchens, and then Matias.
So he puts Matias as the third, as the easiest champ to take care of, the one with the least amount of skills and the easiest to dethrone. It could be true. I don't think so. And even if you were to fight him and beat him, one, I don't think it would be easy, and two, he would have to be bringing a hell of a game plan. It could be done. Nobody's unbeatable. But to say he doesn't have skill set, that's already taken away from your own legacy if you were to fight him. Because you said he wasn't shit, so why fight him? And what should I give you credit for if you beat him? You understand? People already cut their legs out from under themselves, right? So that's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. All right, let's keep on moving. Let's keep on moving along.
So even before he was a champ, I think it might have been like a year
He's
and a
talking about
half ago.
Subriel.
Category of
Check it out.
who shows up the night of the fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's funny because you and I talk, like you just said, you know, you've been calling Matias out even before he was a champ. I think it might have been like a year and a half ago. I spoke to you about it, and Matias wasn't necessarily being called out. And I asked you, I said, at the same kind of question. In your division, there's these guys.
So here's the thing. Again, I'm gonna reiterate my point. You're calling him out because you think he's the easiest, not because you think he's the toughest. Because the statement that you said prior to this question now being posed tells me that you think he's easy. So that means you were taking the easier path. So if, let's say, we believe it, then why would you take the easiest path? What would you want to prove yourself against a non-champion? This question now is posing, he was a non-champion. Why would you take a non-champion and call him out when you say he was the easiest route? See, again, it just...
Guys, who would you want to fight? And you said Matias. I was shocked. I was like, because nobody...
Even
not
KG's
because,
like...
you know, I think he's indestructible or anything, but nobody was saying his name. And you were like...
Because nobody wants
Matias.
that take that
He
walk on the road.
a rock'em sock'em robot. You remember that?
And it's funny you say that because it showed in the Alberto Pollo fight. Alberto Pollo was just touching him upside his nugget until he got tired, and Matias just kind of like stepped on the gas.
Again, rocket sock'em robot. He was getting the best of Pollo was getting the best of him, but eventually he didn't. And if Pollo, if we were to say Pollo has more tools in his box, in his toolbox, than Matias, why couldn't he use a different tool besides his head, I'm being told, and holding to beat him? He's not a Neanderthal. He's not a caveman. It seems to me that his rock and sock'em, pressure fighter type situation is skillfully applied. You understand what I'm saying? Just
took the fight, you know, but he still came with that rock'em sock'em mentality. Like, look, I'm gonna take a point, give a point.
Who you thought won that fight?
It was a coin toss. I give it to Matias. Strategic-wise, what I like to see, I would say Alberto Pollo. But I feel like Matias, he kind of like took the fight at the end. Alberto got tired.
I'm gonna debunk that real quick. I thought that Pollo looked a little drained before the fight. But his own fans told me that's how he looked. So we're going to take that off the table then, because the fans already told me that's how he looked. So we can't even use that. He didn't get tired. He was made tired, Gary. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we have to understand. He was made tired. He didn't get tired. He wasn't running a marathon. He was made to be tired by the work that Matias was putting on him strategically throughout the fight by killing the body early. Because even Pollo admitted it. And even Cesar said, if you ask him behind the scenes, he'll tell you that body attack was brutal. He wasn't just run out of, smoke late. He was made to counteract the statement you made earlier about him not having any skill sets.
Tired, and start grabbing a lot and giving away rounds. At that point, Matias, he just started putting rounds in the bank, started taking it from him.
Yeah.
And
he didn't take it from him. He made sure he won the fight. He didn't take nothing. Taking means you stealing. He didn't steal nothing. He earned them rounds by working the body and having a plan. All right, let's move forward. All right, hold on. Here we go.
What specifically are you referencing?
Matias, he out there knocking Teofimo Lopez.
He was asking, he was saying, this is what he was saying, that he needs to come correct. He know better than me. It's basically what he's saying.
Richard Hitchenson's face. He knew when he saw me, none of that shit, we ain't doing none of that. Because now you about to play with me as a character outside of my profession. This is what we do, but it don't define who we are. You know what I mean? So be respectful. Don't ever just...
Entiendo ese punto. I understand that point. Don't come at me sideways if I ain't coming at you sideways, because boxing is what we do. Let's keep it classy. I understand that. I could understand that. So it's not that he came at you different because you the man. He came at you different because you presented yourself to be a humble dude. So he came out with the humility himself. You reverse the situation. You see how Tio got confronted with bad energy because Theo was already putting out bad energy. Hitchens got talked to down crazy because he was talking out crazy. He meets you with the same energy. It doesn't mean that he thinks that, you know, he should respect you because you're the man, because you might do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know who Matias is mentally as an actual person outside the ring, what his life has entailed. If you knew his history, you would know this dude ain't nothing to play with.
Disrespect. When I saw him, I felt how I felt, but I didn't disrespect him. I said, man, we gotta talk. We gotta have an interview or something together, because I've been hearing you say some things and we can hash it out. But we was verbal or make a contract. You know what I mean? Or let it be known to the world that we're gonna unify.
He said himself there. It's not that he came at him humbled. He came at him humbled. And so Matias reciprocated the energy. Listen, man, this is getting crazy. Matias needs to lock one of these guys down on paper pretty soon. Whether it's the rematch with Puello, Antuanne Russell, Theo. We know Teofimo's not gonna want no smoke, and Hitches is out the door. So it's Puello or Antuanne. Either one of them guys. The other two guys don't seem like they want to fight him at all, because the talking's getting out of hand. The talking is getting out of hand, man, and it just needs to just go ahead. You know, I know that they're trying to build something, and if that's the case, I'm cool with it. As long as there's a champion, as long as we get a unification, I'm not really too mad. No estoy muy preocupado o enfogonado con nada que ellos hagan. You know, I'm not going to be mad at nothing they do if it's a unification. Si ahora, si otra pendeja de pelea con uno del número 15 o lo que sea, I'm gonna be tight. If it's a 15 world ranked guy, I'm gonna be mad. But if it's another champ, because Matias don't got that kind of time, it's either now or never. Es hoy o nunca para Matias. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting situation. I shout out to KG. TV, he don't know who the hell I am, but I know who he is, so I guess that's all that matters. But anyway, let me know what do you think? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you agree with what, you know, Gary Antuanne Russell is saying? You know, like, I ain't that guy. You better come at me correct. Do you think he's gonna fight him next? What are you feeling? What do you want? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'm out. Peace.